Hey guys, happy Sunday and Easter.
Happy Easter.
I didn't do anything for Easter, did you?
Yeah. I was with Reed this morning and then we hung out with his family after. It was a
I
good
played
time.
board games all weekend.
That's more fun.
It was lovely. Hi, Gary.
Hey Gary.
So before we get into talk about webtoons, let's get to talking about our sponsor, where you can buy physical books, sometimes physical books of webtoons,
Mm-hmm.
and stocktrades.com, where you can get your books up to 50% off, sometimes more. And if you spend $50 in the US, you get free shipping.
The best shipping.
The best shipping. And apparently, like, since they've like moved their locations, it's been super, super fast. See, a lot of people be like,
That's what I'm hearing.
And so,
yeah, I'm planning to create an order for my birthday because I haven't, I just haven't in a long time, and I'm like, I need it. I don't know what I'm doing.
You deserve it.
I know. Everyone in the chat, tell me what to buy.
Yeah,
it's been a bit, but I'm gonna get Catch These Hands, which is still like 40% off.
Love it.
I have to. I'm so excited about that book, and there's so many deals on that front page, so I may have to.
It's your birthday. You gotta treat yourself. You know.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Oh, everybody's here. Hi. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Kaden.
Hello.
Hey, Rox. Hey, Kevin. Marvelous ladies. Thank you.
Lovely.
Happy Easter, man. It gets me every time. Hey, everybody's here. Hi. So,
hi, everyone. Mary. Mary.
So we're here to talk about webtoons. Part of this was James' suggestion. Which, James, we have a question for you. But I guess let's talk about what we discussed, and then let's ask James. It's some people. Hello, Dark Ray Fairy and
Joe.
Happy to see Daddy Magneto sweater again.
Yeah, there he is. Wait, there he is.
So
the camera always gets me.
Our assignment for the week, we're gonna read Pigpen, which we did, and then read other horror lines. I'll include thriller too, personally, because some of them fit.
Yeah, and they toe that line often.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we ran into a problem. Yep. So we don't have extra like coins. So I think on Webtoon, usually like as the series is coming out, there are like extra chapters, and then you can pay coins to like read ahead, like the fast passes or whatever. A lot of my friends do this for like Lore Olympus. I've done it once where I paid like $5 because there was some sort of deal. And I didn't do it again because then I was caught up and I had to wait longer and I was sad. A lot of the horror comic books, you get to like issue 10 or something, or like 5 or whatever, and then you would have to like do the coins to read more. And I was like, we both had the same thing, like, oh, okay, well, and they're done because Webtoon says they're done.
Mm-hmm.
So either you pay or you have like a daily pass. And so, James, what we were wondering, now I'm getting to my point. How did you read? Because you read Pigpen, you recommended it, which so far was really good.
Yep.
Did you do like the fast passes and like the coins, or did you like read it your daily allotted like issue every day?
Well, and I'm curious if it changes after time, right? Like maybe after it's done, maybe they change the lock level or something like that. Because I think to like Lore Olympus, you'd think it's so popular, they would put that behind some sort of coin paywall too, which I never ran into.
Mm-mm.
So but it's still ongoing, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe it has something to do with when it's out, when it's not. Maybe James read it 2 years ago when it was coming out. I don't know.
Yeah, very curious.
You need to know. Yeah, I'm really curious about it.
It's a good question. It wasn't you? Why did I think it was you, James? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thought it was him. Okay. Who was it?
This whole time I was like, we have to read Pigpen for James. Why did I think it was you? Well,
sorry, James.
You know what? Here's the thing. We thought it was, and we were dedicated because of you. So even though it wasn't you, in our minds we're like, we gotta do it for James. So
and if the person it is watching, we're so sorry.
Whoever
Tell
it was,
us who you are.
I'm sorry.
We were also doing it for you, whoever that was.
James, please forgive us. Please come back. Wait, horror and thriller aren't the same thing. That's always a difficult one because like a lot of thrillers give off horror or like psychological horror vibes. And so it's always really hard to distinguish. Some of them are very much the same and some of them are not. And webtoons, their genres, if something is horror, it usually has more blood in it.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't, they usually go more of the thriller route, which is interesting. And some of them are both. Like All of Us Are Dead, which James, I know we talked about that one. You and me, at least the show. It has zombies, but it's considered like thriller and horror. So it's always weird. Assassin Roommate and the Croaking.
Now we have to read those for James.
James, we're gonna do it for you, okay?
James, did you run into a paywall with this? Because
hey, James, have you ever run into a paywall? Can you still answer that question? There's often overlap. I think thriller is more about suspense. Yeah, absolutely. Because you can have horror and have it not be a thriller. For very sure. Because there's campy horror and things. Freddie. Well, anyways, let's talk about what we read. So, again, part of the bummer of this is some of them that we read, we were able to read like 10 issues or whatever, or 10 episodes. So we can't give you like the whole, breakdown of like everything. But I think it'd be good for us to talk about what we really liked, because I think there are some of these that I will now use my daily pass for and read one a day, which I hate. You know me, I want to read all of it in one go.
I do too. Yep.
I'm not a taste person. I'm an all at once person.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyways, I've been talking a lot, so I don't know if you want to talk about one first.
Well, should we start with Pigpen?
Let's talk about Pigpen. Yeah.
All right. So, Pigpen is basically about this guy who kind of wakes up, doesn't know where he's at. He thinks he maybe had some sort of, I don't know, maybe he was at sea and he washed his door somehow.
He's on like a beach. It starts off with him just on a beach. He walks around and he's like, oh, I'm on an island. But he had a phone. He's got no memory.
Yeah, no memory at all. And to the point where we got to, which was about, I used my fast pass, so episode 10 right up to. He still doesn't have a memory, so he doesn't know what's going on. But he ends up at this bed and breakfast with this family who's real creepy immediately.
Yes.
And he continues to ask the question, where am I? And they told him it's an island. That's all he's got. And then they just keep avoiding that question every single time. Each one of the family, because there's like a husband, a wife, some kids.
Yeah, they have an older son, older daughter, and a younger daughter.
Yeah, but the younger daughter is extra creepy because of course she is, right? What I'm interested in is the actual cover photo of Pigpen is a guy, I assume a guy in a pig mask or a pig. I don't know, honestly. And then next chapter, episode 10, has that image. So I'm like, oh man, we got right to the point.
Man.
Where there's some really creepy going on and didn't quite get there. So
yeah, because already, like, because there's some things I'll read in here that I can give or take. But with that one, I was like, it's really good. It was very like the way that the characters were portrayed was very creepy. Because they're like a hyper-religious family, the dad is, and he's always very stern. And then you have the mother who like comes across as just like, oh, hi, welcome. Let's make you this. Stephanie,
so sorry.
Thank you.
Stephanie.
Oh my God. Thank you, Stephanie. How did you read it? Did you?
Also, what else did you recommend? Because we're going to have to write those down now and do them. But yeah, thank you for the recommendation. I'm so sorry. We thought you were James.
I don't know why.
I don't either. I had it in my head as well.
Maybe I have amnesia and I'm on an island at a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super creepy because like they definitely knocked him out. The first night he's getting weird vibes and like hides a kitchen knife. And then the mother shows up and she's like, she went from like cheery to meter to like, I know you took it. Where'd you put it? And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. So it's immediately like, not much has happened yet, but everybody's really creepy. I'm very interested in every member of the family too. They all got something going on that I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
I want to read it. I'm just very disappointed I have to read it every single day unless I fork out some money. Like, to read just a chapter.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And we'll see. I think maybe if I make it as like a special thing for me, then that's what I'll do.
Yeah, like a little
Jesus, to be a very similar days. I can see how that mistake happened. They both, yeah, you know.
Thank you for that.
But Bastard's also pretty good too. That's his first. Okay, so check out Bastard too. Is there another way we can read it? Not on Webtoon, so we can read all of it without paying a lot of money.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far, but
no, I don't mean illegally. I mean like
just some other. Okay,
yeah,
that is a good question. But yeah, Stephanie, we want to know. Did you read it when it came out? When it was coming out, were any chapters behind like credit walls? Right.
Yeah.
Because we're very curious. We're running into that, and we're upset about it. So please let us know that. I'm very.
Oh, you should have started the daily challenge for that series on Webtoons. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll just have to do it day by day. But I'm interested though, so I
yeah.
can
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna try to remember to do that every day.
But yeah, out of everything I've read, I feel like I'm most interested in that one because it really laid the scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very curious too. I don't know how much you read. I only read 2 other ones.
I read up to what I could. So
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I have one that isn't behind anything and has a ton of episodes, they call it. And that is, let me pull up the name again, Surviving Romance. It has 55 chapters. Ooh, there's a new one. And so this one's really interesting. This girl, she wakes up inside one of her like favorite novels. And she has to basically like live out what happens in the book. Now, because she's the main character in this book, she only really has to do like this. She only really interacts with like her male love interest. And so when she's in the school, she doesn't see anyone else's faces. She knows the names and stuff from the book. She remembers reading it, but she doesn't know who is who and she can't see them. So when she looks at them, it's just this like kind of black, like static-y image. And she only sees the guy. And like something happens one day where like, you know, as long as you're acting according to the story moves along with you. So she knows, because she knows she's in the book, she knows how to move it along. But something happens and there's a zombie outbreak that is not in the book. And she's like, oh, okay. And she realizes that if she dies, it just resets that day. So it goes through like a Groundhog Day thing at the beginning. You know, she keeps trying different things. She keeps dying. Eventually, she decides to start trying like, all right, let me actually stick with this. And she starts to make these connections to her classmates. And she realizes if they trust her, she's able to see their face. And so she's making those connections. She decided that she's not going to die again. She's not going to let them die. And she's finally going to stop being this like blind main character who doesn't pay attention to anybody else. And as she goes along, it's more than just zombies. Like some of them have a different sort of intelligence or morph into like weird creatures. And she realizes that there's more to this. There's a reason why she's here. Maybe she's not the only one here that's like her. And it's a bit more complicated. It has been super interesting reading this week to week. I really recommend it. If I know that if you like the All of Us Are Dead show or the comic book, I think you'll like this as well, especially because you have a different kind of aspect laid in here. Because there's a lot of things on Webtoons where it's like girl ends up in her favorite novel, but things are different. But this one has horror elements. Oh, I have a picture too, actually. Let me show that. I tried to save other pictures, but so here's like, if you see this, you would not expect it's like this kind of thing, but it's really good.
That sounds awesome. So I wrote that down. When I finished Pigpen, as much as I could, I just immediately went to this person's other webtoons.
Okay.
So I started Bastard. Also ran into the coin wall, but so far that's also very interesting. This person's clearly good at thrillers, you know.
Yeah.
This one starts out with a kid. He's got like some emo swoop haircut, you know.
Love it.
Yeah, and he's in high school, and he, you know, people don't really like to talk to him. They think he's weird. He has a glass eye. and they think that's weird. Like,
see, that just makes you cooler, but okay.
I know, I agree. But yeah, they're just like, he's the weird kid. I don't want to talk to him. So he clearly doesn't have like friends, and stuff's going on in his home. And oh yeah, Stephanie's like, how do you like Bastard? It's second favorite of his. Yeah. So I'm enjoying it so far, but again, I ran into the paywall. So I'm like, well, I'll have to remember to go back every day. But yeah, that what ends up happening is like he has a teacher, like a tutor, and his dad like comes in the living room while they're like, doing homework or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm heading out and I'll be gone for a bit, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, see ya. So he leaves. And then she's like, where's your dad going? And he's like, oh, it's a business trip. And, he ends up quizzing her like, my dad goes on a business trip like this time and this time and this time. Or do these dates like mean anything to you? And she's like, no, why? Like, that's, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to, I'm not sure how much I should say, but this is within the first like several chapters, I want to say.
Yeah.
But something happens to her. She ends up dying in that house. You see the kid dragging the body, and you start making assumptions of what happened in your head, but that's not exactly what happened. There is a twist. Again, I'm not sure how much I said.
Okay.
In the photo, you kind of
know
what's going on, but
yeah.
But yeah, so there's something going on with him or his dad, or like something's happening there. But yeah, I'm already in, right? And I'm just upset that I ran into. I can't just binge the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I am super interested. Oh. Is Webtoon locked by IP, or can you use different emos to keep getting the free chapters that way by alternating? Probably could. I will tell you, I'm lazier than that.
It's a lot of effort.
For sure. For sure. Real quick before we talk about the next one, Steffi had a good thing. My boyfriend only reads physical comics. I really want him to read this, but he utterly despises webtoons. Help. I wonder why.
Well, and is it webtoons in general, or like just digital comics? Has he actually tried the app? Because I just find it's just so smooth and easy to use. And again, if you already have, like, he already has it on his phone, he can just read a chapter every now and then while he's waiting in line for something, or
yeah, it's just convenient.
Just very convenient.
And I found for me, like, I love reading like webtoons, like if I'm out at the office, which is not during work, but between tasks. It's like a little reward. It's my little dopamine reward. So I'll do something like, okay, I can go ahead and read my next like updated chapter. And it's something that's very quick, and I don't have to pick up, digital comic in general. I think you just have to sell the convenience of it. I think a lot of people feel that way because they don't want to read their type of comic digitally, which I understand. But I think once you get hooked in like a web comic format, when it's like this, it's easy to see like this is a different format, but it's convenient. It's just different.
Well, and I'm curious if you could, because you're probably thinking like, what kind of angles have you tried? Have you tried the convenience thing? Have you tried the save money thing?
Ooh.
Because especially with the webtoons, have you tried maybe I'll just get you like an iPad for Christmas or something? So
I preload the comics on there.
Exactly, preload that webtoon. Put all your favorites in his list. Put Hoopla on there if your library has that. Also convenient. Maybe Comixology Unlimited, get a little sub.
Yeah. Man, because once you do guided reading.
That too, right? That is such a difference.
It's so nice.
Of course, I also prefer physical comics, but there's nothing like a guided view. I mean, that's just, is so nice. Especially
there's nothing like that webtoons format. It's easy.
Yeah. And the guided view, there's something so great about not being able to be spoiled about any panel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like just opening a comic and seeing both of those pages immediately.
Oh, no. It prioritizes a writing style that's good on the short term, but sucks in the long term. I disagree.
Yeah.
You can tell him I said this because I think that the issue by issue, the floppies, prioritize a writing style that's good on the short term, but sucks in the long term. Because they are focusing on they have to focus on these very short, like 4 or 5 issues, right? In order to keep it going, to keep getting published, versus like a webtoon or like manga or graphic novel. We got one artist, one writer, and they know they can keep writing, right? and they have access and like control over the long-term story. So I feel more safe in this format than I do a lot of times in the big two, anyways, comic book issue format. Well, and that's people I love.
Yeah, these people are like planning it out too, right? Because like there are so many chapters for these, and they're just giving you little bursts, but like clearly it's a story they've been working on for a long time. They're just cutting it up for you into digestible pieces, you know?
That's because it's nature to be, oh, come on, no. Fast accessible, so it can't be. Incorrect. These are very complex. Some of the best things I've read, the book that Chris and I both read that we've talked about, which name I always forget. My Deepest Secret. Oh my God, My Deepest Secret.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh my God. Like we went into this and I did not know where it was going. I genuinely did not. And just the twist and everything, the long lead up. Because manga's the same way too. I think people forget that like in webtoons, it's a weekly thing, right? But manga is very similar because you have a weekly, monthly Shonen Jump release. So those issues are also coming out weekly or monthly, just as good. Anyways, I'm sure he's nice. I'm not competitive. I'm just like, let me tell you some answers. My opinions. I just think any genre can be complex, regardless of how it's delivered.
Absolutely.
Personally. Even short episodes on TikTok can be complex. There is a pug in the background. Yeah, that's a moose. And sometimes I foster other pugs. But right now we just have the one. Anyways. Oh, you talked about Bastard.
But yeah, Stephanie also said he says he agrees with your comic statement, which is why he doesn't read mainstream comics. What does he read? Because I'd say webtoons is like quite like just a niche in comics, totally not mainstream. I mean, a lot of these are getting adapted now and they're getting eyes on it, right? Which is awesome. But it's still like just way more independent people, right? Putting this stuff out, which is awesome.
It's a nice way. I'm really glad that that's a format people can use because it also helps them to get picked up by the industry later or like a publisher. A new book that's out is Roach. This just dropped, and so there's all sorts of daily deals and whatever. I'm really digging this one. Oh no, Roach is older. Never mind. I was thinking Ant. Sorry, Ant just dropped. It's very good. I'm gonna talk about that, but let me talk about Roach first, which is not new. So Roach is really cool so far. I don't know what to attribute it to, but basically there's all these like issues all over town. It feels kind of Junji Ito-esque, but not as like out there. They are finding these people dead and they're like in husks almost. Like a way like a roach or a bug would be, kind of almost cocoon, and they've just been mummified. And these weird things. And it's just these cases happening all over town. And before that, they get really thirsty. And there's always other signs that maybe that something's going to happen. But they're not really sure of the cause. And then we switch to our main character. This man who has a wife and daughter. I think he's not feeling like fulfilled in life or something. But it ends up happening to him. He's really, really incredibly thirsty. Weird stuff happens with his skin. And then one day in the office, or one day when he goes home, he goes to bed and he wakes up and his wife, this is right at the beginning, is like trying to kill him. And she's crazed. And he's like, oh my God, what is happening? He looks to the right of him. There's an open husk. So like he must have come out of there. And he has to like fight off. And there's something that happens with him where every person that sees him, every human, freaks out and goes into a murderous rage. And he has no idea what's happening. And also, it's like he's been reborn. He has all these, like, he's super strong now. Like, he was dying of cancer. And now I feel like they don't say it, but I think it's probably been cured. Because it's as if he doesn't have those, like, things holding him back anymore. And so he's got to go out on the run and figure out how to get out of this. But people are literally looking at him and attacking him. It's like something gets like a hive mind, gets and controls these people when they see him. very cool, also behind a paywall thing, but dying for more of whatever this is.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He reads Upgrade Soul. Good. Good Night Poon Poon, Vagabond, and Curly's related to Adolf. I haven't read Vagabond, but I heard it's really good. Good Night Poon Poon I always hear mixed things about.
Right, yeah.
11 bookshelves full of manga, omnis, comics, and novels. We're going to get in there, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Trust me. Anyone can be convinced.
We also have a ton of physical media, of course, but something to be appreciated digitally. Okay, so I just kept going through this guy's backlog at this point.
Yeah,
right?
Love it.
So I read as much as I could of Sweet Home. You're also going to run into paywall. It's interesting. This paywall starts at...
Sweet Home is... Sweet Home became a show.
Yeah, it says that, and I'm like, oh, I had no idea. Is that on Netflix too?
That's also on Netflix.
Sweet.
That one was super... I need to read the... How'd you like the... Sorry. How'd you like this?
I'm interested so far, but I'm also like, I'm not as interested as I am the other ones, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only 3 to compare it to, but I'm still interested. Yeah, it says now a major adaptation on blah, blah. Okay, I'm just going to read what it has here because I think it can summarize it better than me. After an unexpected family tragedy, a reclusive high school student is forced to leave his home, only to face something much scarier, a reality where monsters are trying to wipe out humanity. Now he must fight alongside a handful of reluctant heroes to try and save the world before it's too late, which I like that trope. So I'm already yeah, I'm in. So at this point, I think I'm going to read everything this guy's done.
Love that.
I'm in.
Man, the show is really cool and terrifying. So I am interested in the comic book, but I'm also I'm interested and worried that it won't live up because the show is so grotesque almost in its monsters.
What I was going to ask, right? Because there's certainly that element of the monsters in this is way more grotesque than I mean, there's your horror aspect versus your other ones that felt more thrillery.
Yeah.
That he's done. So yeah, they're really creepy and different. I think they'd be even creepier though in a Netflix show. So
yeah, it's
I feel like there's no way they can show that versus is it live action?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's a prequel?
Well, hold on. Let me write that down, James.
Me?
I'm gonna put James beside it so I know for sure it's James.
Okay. Let's try it. It says Vagabond's fantastic. He's actually the one who got me to watch your show because he said I would like it. He watches the Omnibros. Oh, well.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm happy he brought you to us.
Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie's boyfriend.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie's boyfriend. What was I going to talk about? Ant. Ant is the new one. It's hard because Ant and Roach are both bugs.
Right. Is it different people?
Yeah, it's different people.
Okay, interesting.
But Ant, it's a little weird to describe, but it also feels kind of Junji Ito.
Okay.
This guy something's happened with him in his work and stuff, and he goes to meet up with an old friend, college friend, high school friend, I'm not sure, in this weird part of town. It's an old part of town. All the apartments are really cheap. Everything feels very run down. And so he's kind of staying with his friend for now to kind of just get away from his overbearing parents and all this stuff. But everything's really eerie. There's weird bugs around. There's weird things happening, people going missing. And everything just feels really creepy. There's a woman who kind of walks the streets. It looks like this. But everyone's just get out of here. And that's it. It's cool, and I don't know what's happening, but it feels very almost Uzumaki because you enter in a town that's used to this weird stuff, and they're acting as if it's not there. And when he brings up these weird things he sees, he's like, "Oh, I can't leave. There's someone outside. Something's happening." It's as if his friend is like, "What are you talking about?" His friend who's lived there his whole life, and so I don't know where it's going because it's just right now it's been really great because they're not really showing me. I know there's a lot of bugs, and that's an issue.
Yeah.
But it's all happening kind of out of my eyesight still so far. But that one's brand new, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 chapters out. Really cool.
Okay.
I don't know what to expect, but I like it so far.
I'm writing these down because, especially like one that's coming out,
Yeah.
I think that would be fun to like talk to each other about as it's coming out, and then we're not like stuck waiting for chapters and feeling weird about it.
So, absolutely. Yeah, well, if you ever want to catch up on Surviving Romance.
Oh, I plan to now, 100%.
Because that was so cool.
Yeah.
Shotgun Boy's definitely a prequel to Sweet Home. Okay. And Flawed All Might seems to drive away from his normal horror suspense work and is more like a dark comedy. Okay. Because it looks like he's got a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I didn't read anything else.
All right. That's pretty good. We did pretty good. I'm looking at my subscribed stuff because there's other things that are like horror but more thriller. I'm trying to think of what's really worth recommending that I've read. If you're looking for an anthology that has a lot of chapters, Tales of Greed is a good one. Each story will end up being like 8 chapters or so. So you kind of go in and out of different things. And there's like these big scenarios people go through. That's my big one, I guess. Actually, I was looking through.
Okay. Well, that's a nice little list we made, though.
Yeah. I hope you guys have gotten some stuff you can write down that you seem interested in.
Yeah, and James, we're going to have to read those that you recommended. You know what? I need to go back to where those were. Write that down.
Now we can hang out. What's up, everybody? What are you reading? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you playing?
Yeah, do you have any webtoons you recommend for us now?
Yeah, please. Has anyone else here read Outcast by Robert Kirkman? I haven't, but I've always seen it around.
I read a trade years ago. I'm curious if it's worth like picking up. I know it's done now, so.
Ooh, Kevin's reading Fragments of Horror by Ito right now since you mentioned it.
Fantastic.
There's just nothing like a warm hug of Junji Ito.
A warm, gross hug.
It just feels like a warm cup of tea.
A weird cup of tea.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah.
Another horror I can recommend is Rotten on Webtoons. So since you gave us great recommendations, and we will remember now.
I'm putting it down, Stephanie, right beside Rotten. Rotten Stephanie. Right. Thank you.
Rotten Stephanie. They said that there are 4 volumes in Outcast right now. It's 8 out of 10. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was finished. My bad. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I'll check it out again.
Both series have a paywall. Oh, reshared for you. The Crow Game.
Fantastic.
And Assassin Roommate.
Thank you. I just went back and got those down, but I'm putting James right by it. I know now.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add those so I don't forget.
Oh, yeah, I should do that too. That's a good idea.
Yeah, at least if I've subscribed to it. That's a good thing about Webtoon is that like I can subscribe to something and keep up to date. I do know that if I read it on different like computers, it won't tell me what I've read on there, so I have to put a heart so I remember.
Well, and I even noticed because I had to replace my phone recently, and when I went back to Webtoon like today to like read stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, no, nothing's there.
So the secret is from me to you, because I ruined a lot of these that way. Just put a heart. Just make sure you heart it or like it after you read it so you know.
Okay.
That way I can tell. Because otherwise, I have no idea. So there's things I have to go back, like way back, and figure out. Didn't read any digital this week, but I read Dragon. And just finished East of West before the show started. And soon Squire. Yay, Squire!
Yeah. Nice.
I saw the cutest Junji Ito figures, but I'm on a buy ban, I think.
And it's funny how cute they are. It's like these.
I want Junji Ito figures.
Yeah, I don't have any either, but there's one they're all good. There's one I really want.
I always love all the memes that are out about Junji Ito versus like Hayao Miyazaki. You know, because Hayao Miyazaki is just always smoking. He's like so depressed, and he makes these beautiful things.
Yeah.
And then you have Junji Ito makes these horrific things. He's just the sweetest man. He's so sweet.
Cat ears on.
I love him.
So cute.
Oh, and Red Batman, a lot of little Gotham. Yeah, I love Gotham. Just started reading Afar, and it's pretty good so far. I've never heard of Afar.
I've heard of it. I haven't checked it out though.
Currently rereading the Jedi Academy trilogy. Nice.
Fun.
One of the characters is called Skynex. Is that how it's pronounced?
Your guess is as good as mine.
About to start Layla Starr. I love Layla Starr.
It's great.
I really liked it. Should for sure look for the art by Dustin Nguyen, the most adorable Damien and Bat fam.
Yeah, I've read all this years and years ago too.
Mary just picked up Squire.
Yeah.
Not horror, but Castle Swimmer is a great webtoon.
I'm gonna add that too, Hayden.
I just closed Webtoon and look at Junji Ito figures. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I've looked at that. There's also a new one that just come out called Homesick that seems to have potential. Gives you more of a sweet home vibe. Colorful sweet home vibe. Homesick. Oh yeah, I saw that. Every time I opened up the horror one that was there. I like the colors.
Subscribing to all of these blindly. So
me too. That's fine.
That is the way to do it. Homesick. Okay.
I've heard a cup of tea time. Who knows how to pronounce it? No, all that I know is I'm definitely gonna name a dog that. I support that. Last week I read Batman White Knight and I love it. It's one of the best Batman comics I've read in a very long time.
I also really liked it.
I haven't read it.
You know, it's good. It's good. I think you would like it too.
We should read it.
We could.
I always push away Batman stuff because I'm so sick of Batman.
Yeah. Well, and this is like I think a new and interesting, different take that I think is what.
It just reminded me. I stopped at the comic book store yesterday. Speaking of new and interesting takes, the Dark Knight of Steel or whatever, the fantasy DC book, where they're all like medieval and fantasy and everybody's wearing cool armor and stuff. Wonder Woman was kissing Supergirl.
Okay. What's she doing there?
I don't know. Okay.
Did you pick it up?
It's just a floppy, so I'm gonna wait until it's out. But unless it's a cool cover, but I was just like, I just want to see what this looks like. So Wonder Woman's armor looks great. And then I'm like, wait a second. Excuse.
Okay.
What? So we're gonna have to read that one because I gotta know. Because Wonder Woman never gets to kiss ladies. It makes me sad. It's true. But just gonna check it out, I guess.
Now you have to.
That's
how this works.
You guys need to check out Hard Sell on Netflix. It's a new Catherine Tate comedy set in a prison. You can binge the entire season in around 2 hours. That's fast.
Yeah, that is fast. Okay.
I'm interested. Oh, a certain crowd when they find out they're going to see dollar signs. What have I been watching lately? I watched a lot of Old Enough. So I will say, if you guys need a little serotonin, a little dopamine, and you have 15 minutes, Old Enough on Netflix is great. It's a show that that they brought from Japan to Netflix. It's not like a Netflix original. That is been happening 30 years. Basically, in Japan, it's very normal for when kids reach a certain age, you send them on their first errand by themselves. It's a way to gain confidence and stuff. And so they film it. So these are kids that are anywhere from 2 to 5. And they send them on an errand by themselves. And it is so cute. It is overwhelmingly sweet.
I love that.
This little 2-year-old with squeaky shoes going to pick up curry or whatever. Or this girl has to make several stops. And sometimes they cry and freak out. Sometimes they keep dropping stuff. And that was a little anxiety inducing for me to watch personally. But very good. So be a dopamine hit.
I'm gonna check that out. That's adorable.
Please do. Yeah, it's just every episode's like 10 to 15 minutes, so it's quick.
That's nice. You can just throw that on and feel something lovely.
Oh yeah, the new Craig of the Creek. I'm so excited. I want you to watch it so bad. Just when I think they're done with the lore, Kristan, there's more lore.
That's HBO, right?
Yes.
One day I'll get it back.
It is so good. So good. Also reading the Star Wars Old Republic omnibus. I'm very jealous. I wish I had it. I wanted to buy it, but I have to be responsible. I can't buy every omnibus. Because am I going to read it right away? No.
I get it. I have some back here that I'm like, how long have they been sitting there? Like, why did
Hayden was saying, yeah, that show is like 6 minute episodes. Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Not horror, but my guilty pleasure webtoons Let's Play. You surprise yourself with how much you get attached to a ship you're dying to sail and see the main character gain confidence throughout. Oh, Stephanie, most of my webcomics are cheesy love comics I would talk about on here. That's what most of them are.
Yeah, I've seen that one around. I'll have to check it out.
That was a show, too, I think they made.
I think I saw they like printed all the books, too, which is cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are physical, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I ever shared my picture of like my things with you, most of them are cheesy romances. And I am committed. Young Justice continues to be perfect. I need to catch up so bad. Only live action Japanese thing I've seen is that Battle Royale film. Oh, I love Battle Royale. I love the book. I love the manga. I love the movie.
You know, I still need to read the manga. Maybe we should do that sometime.
Let's do it.
It's been sitting on my shelf.
I love talking about Battle Royale. I also love talking about it as a window into Japanese culture and politics. Like, it's just, it's so
I've never
good.
actually seen the movie.
It's so good.
But I have the manga sitting there.
It's so good. It's classic. Russian Doll Season 2 comes out April 20th. Can't wait. Did you watch Russian Doll?
Is that Natasha?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't know that was still happening. Because I remember when it came out, but I never watched it. And then I was like, that should die. But no, it's coming back on my birthday. Okay, yeah, I'm going to watch it then. I'm definitely going to watch it.
That's our girl.
Yeah.
Who always plays a gay woman but isn't a gay woman.
Yeah.
And is married to, that guy I don't like, the comedian. Fred Armisen.
Why don't you like Fred?
I don't know. He creeps me out.
Did they get married?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure he's nice.
Reed loves Fred. Because he's a drummer. He's a musician.
He bothers me. And
I like Fred too. I mean, you know.
I don't know what it is. You know me. I'm usually pretty good with people. Like, I like most people.
I don't know.
He gives me the heebie-jeebies.
That's too bad.
I know.
Oh, Flight Attendant. Okay, so I'm going to have to get HBO again. Because I need Flight Attendant season.
Me too.
Thank you, James. That's my reason. So I will also watch Craig of the Creek because I'm going to get HBO for Flight Attendant season 2.
It's Craig of the Creek. Who's going to save the day?
All right.
You will love it. And I think you're going to fall head over heels with the character Kelsey. You're going to love her.
Okay, I'm writing all this down. Thank you, James, for the information. I'm going to watch Russian Doll. HBO again. It's happening.
You gotta have a little cheese with all that horror to surround yourself with. Oh yeah, I love cheesy romance. I love every genre. I'm never gonna be one that's just like, no, I have to be pretentious and cool. I am not.
No.
In any way.
I get
it. And if I want to read all of these cheesy tropes, I'm gonna.
Maddie, speaking of, I need you to read. I don't know. I shouldn't talk about this on air because like nobody else cares. I need you to read a novel for me.
Okay.
It's a romance. It's a adult romance. But it's like Jessica and I both read it, and I told her, I said, "This is the best thing I read all year."
What is
including comics, because it made me feel so many things. It's called Delilah Green Doesn't.
Okay, listen. That is, I knew. I haven't read it. It's been on my list because I looked at the cover, and one girl cute pin up, the other girl has a camera. I'm a photographer. I was like,
yes. She photographs weddings. Okay. There's a kid involved, which just creates a sweet dynamic that I needed. Please read it.
Okay.
Please read it. I'm sure it's at your library because it's like all the libraries right now. Okay. I just assume. But no, it probably is. Pick it up there if you don't want to buy it. Totally get it. It is worth the money. I didn't even buy it though. I grabbed it from the library. Please read it.
I will. After I finish Legends and Lattes.
Oh yeah, totally. But it makes me so happy.
Yes. No, that's my next on my
It's so good
to read.
And there's a sequel coming out.
Love
and
that.
I'm so excited. Yeah, you have to. Please read it.
I will. Absolutely. Kristan Boot Kick. Is there somebody else in here named Boot Kick? Is the Boot Kick a reference?
The boot kick is on the Batwoman cover.
Oh.
That terrible cover with the boot. Yeah, that so I get it. Yeah, I'm reviewing that with Jess next week and have not started it. So I'm hoping it doesn't take me forever. But I need to. Not yet, Freddie, but it's gonna happen.
Heartstopper adaptation drops on Friday for your birthday.
So excited! Yeah, they did that for me. Thank you.
Hunger Games is bad in my opinion. Boring battle royale. I like both, but man, battle royale though, that's real stakes. You also need Our Flag Means Death. I watched the first 4 episodes with Jess and Lee. I'm not completely sold on it yet, but I'm going to watch all of it because I know I'm being promised gay relationships. So, oh, she just broke up with Fred.
Well, there you go.
Even though I'm an ace dude, romance is the funniest thing to me. I love it. I'm the guy who obsesses over one topic for months on end. Same.
Been there. Yeah.
Although I obsess in like bursts of things and just constantly. If I don't have something to obsess over, I'm miserable. I'm miserable until I find another thing. It's probably not healthy, but
I get it though. I do.
I'm the meme with the girl that equally likes creepy and cute things, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I like all of it.
I mean, I get that though. Some of my favorite manga, Ito, but also cat manga. And they are together on my shelves.
Well, and for us, that's the same level of comfort.
Yeah. You know? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When I read Ito, it's just perfect. And when I read An Old Man and His Cat, it's the same feeling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
That's self-care.
That's right. That's what that is.
Yes. Same here, but bursts of 3 to 4 months. I have dyspraxia with ADHD overlap. Okay, yeah. I get it. I wish that with my ADHD, I would continue to like some of these things for longer, but it's very rare. So like, I have to really be careful about buying things because I had to make sure I've liked it for a long run. Buffy, I do. Wonder Woman, I do. Red Sonja, I do. Those things are safe. Okay, listen.
Oh, Robin.
Robin, I do.
Involved. Yeah. Always obsessed with Robin.
Oh, good. Good choice.
Love that.
Hey, Robin, did you read any webtoons this week? No?
Actually, do people know? I'm sure they're out there. In fact, I think I started one, but I need to know all the cat webtoons. There has to be tons, right? Like, tell me the cute stuff I need to be reading because I need that too. I need the horror and I need the cute stuff. So,
isn't there one horror where they have cat heads?
Oh, I don't know.
I saw that. I'm so scared she's gonna claw me to death. Let's see.
Oh,
Robin, please.
I like how Joe said lots of hand motions because we were both like.
That's how we do it. Okay, everything is fine. Okay. That one they have cat heads, and it's horror.
Okay, so it's like creepy though.
Yeah, they say Sam and Maggie are a normal couple in a normal house in a normal neighborhood. There is nothing strange about their heads, their neighbors, or their sweet little dog. Everything is fine.
Oh, okay. Kind of want to actually have to now. Everything is fine. Got it. Write it down.
Oh, Buffy should be safe anymore. I meant that like I continue to like Buffy.
We're talking like the original.
Yeah, I'm talking about
the original series, not the movie. Series.
out of curiosity, what are your thoughts on the controversy surrounding Joss Whedon?
He's the worst.
He's the worst.
That's my thoughts. Yeah, it sucks.
He's a creepy creep. He absolutely did all those things. He is not to be trusted.
Yeah, I'm, it's like we say a lot, I'm just grateful so many other people were involved in Buffy, so I don't feel like as weird loving it so much. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's just a bummer.
Yep. Webtoons has a section just for cat comics.
Stop! Why don't I know?
Romance anime, my number one guilty pleasure. Yeah. Creepy Cat by Cotton What?
Wait, that's a webtoon? I read that in manga format. Actually just got volume 2 today.
Oh.
So that's cool. I love Creepy Cat. Love it.
Yeah, I have 3 or 4 of his books. I refuse to read them. Yeah, honestly, most of mine have been like secondhand, but yeah, we had to make a decision going forward, really looking at who all is working on the books, how many people are involved, and making that decision case by case, which is not an easy one, because like it does seem like he's like farther away from it, and the people that are actually working on the books are making really good, healthy, progressive decisions.
Mm-hmm. At least for like the stuff coming out now, I don't think he really. No. He may have some light hand in it, but also it's bad, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it sucks. I sold my stuff, but so I mean, going forward, I won't be buying anything anyways. But you know, we talk very often on here about making sure that we don't do anything that's going to directly greatly fund that person in any way.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times that means buying something secondhand. Like I've said before, like Red Hood and the Outlaws by Lobdell, it really means a lot to me. It's a book I really love. I think he's a garbage person. And luckily I already have those things before anything came out, but if I were to read it or buy anything else, I would buy it secondhand. And just like how talking to you about it now, because when I talk about Roy Harper, I always mention Red Hood, but I always say that means a garbage man. If you're going to read it, get it secondhand. Because, the book was good. I liked it. But I would not support him. And there's some people that I can't stand to read at all because I just think about them.
Yeah, same.
I can't touch a Warren Ellis thing. There's just too many women that got hurt by that man for me to even touch it.
I feel the same. I'm good. I have plenty of other things to read. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah. And that's we talk about a lot. That's definitely like a personal decision you've got to make. All I ask is that like, I really appreciate when people online that are like us, they're talking about these books, at least have a disclaimer or mention those things, because otherwise it can really come across as if we're like, hey, this guy, he's great, read his stuff, buy his things, right? And I really appreciate that, there have been more people lately who are like, hey, and not everybody. And I know that that's their decision. So that's always tough, right? But like, I think the right thing to do is be like, hey, by the way, you should know this if you're going to read this personally. Because otherwise I feel bad for the people that were like victims. Anyways.
Yep.
That was my spiel.
You said it right. You said it all.
Yeah. Yeah, secondhand or piracy, the only way I support reading books from scumbags. Absolutely. Just like how I won't be able to touch that Hogwarts Legacy game. So, on Webtoons for cute cat comics, there's Nibblings, Cat Loaf Adventures, Sappy the One-Eyed Cat. Hey!
One-Eyed Cat.
Pixie and Brutus, and My Kitty and Old Dog.
Okay, well, I'm writing all of those down.
Oh, Creepy Cat is a physical. That's the only comic I know about a spooky kitten.
Okay, got you. Yeah, it's great.
So we're nearing the end. We'll be back next Sunday. As long as else is happening, normal time.
Yeah. Do we have a normal time now?
No, it was 11 until today.
Oh yeah, we could. Okay, yeah, let's do 11 again.
Okay,
that's good.
And we'll be doing One Piece, I guess, unless we.
Yeah.
This week might be busy though. We could do something else.
I'm just planning to not, so we're not stressing. I would love that.
Let's do something else.
Okay.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about
post about on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you see.
At Fangirlz Live on Twitter. And if you have thoughts or suggestions, holler at us.
Yes. If you want to see me this week, I'm always live on Tuesdays for Over Your New Reader on Near Mint Condition. I'm reading Titans this week, and then Patreon's supposed to vote on a Deadpool for next week, so we'll see what happens.
Fantastic.
I hope they vote for the one that I've read. If they vote for the one we've read, do you want to come on the show?
Absolutely. Yep, I'll do it.
Because as long as they vote for a short one, it should be fine.
I'm in.
Because I think I put like that run, Deadpool versus the Marvel Universe or something. Deadpool by Joe Kelly, because it was on every list, and then the Deadpool and Cable.
Oh, okay.
Because that's like I would only read like 6 issues, so
cool.
I just voted for the one you read. Thanks, Freddie.
Freddie, can you see the results of the current poll? I'm curious how that works.
What are we looking at, Freddie?
Yeah,
James usually can't. Usually I'm like, James, what am I reading? Because I don't know.
Freddie, let us know.
If you haven't, look for Deadpool the Gauntlet. It has Dracula stuff you miss. Ooh.
Oh.
No!
I mean, if I know about that in advance enough, I'll read it with you. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
So just let me know the moment you know, and I'll see if I can throw it in there.
Yeah, I think I asked him for Tuesday to be the last day so I could announce it on the show.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. Isn't that the one that Hayden read, right? I think that's why I put it in there too, so that if it got voted, it'd be fine for Hayden. All right, well, it's 8. I'm sure a lot of us have the Sunday scaries because we work tomorrow. I know I do.
Same.
So we'll cut off here. Thank you all for being such a great chat today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your recommendations. I wrote them all down. I'm so excited. Please let us know next time if you read any of these.
Yeah.
We want to update.
And if you're catching us later, put some webcomic, webtoon recommendations in the chat or message us on Twitter.
Please.
And, check out our sponsor, InStockTrades.com. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.